everybody. Welcome to Me Powered with Rhonda. It is Women's History Month, and this is our second portion of celebrating Women's History Month. We've got lots for you tonight, but before we get started, want to go ahead and let everybody know how to tune in. We're on everything now. Lady J, go ahead and tell everybody how they can tune in.
If this is your first time tuning into the show or to JQLM Radio and you would like to share with your family, friends, and followers on all the different ways that they can tune in, be sure to tell them to download the JQLM Radio app on their Apple or Android devices. You can also listen live to JQLM Radio 24/7, 365 via Amazon Alexa, TuneIn app, the Stream and Simple Radio app, and a host of other platforms of which you can find located on our website, where you can also listen live at egoentertainmentnet.com. Also, don't forget to follow, like, and share us. We do follow back. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at JQLM Radio. You can also connect with Ego Entertainment Network at EgoEntNet. That's EgoEntNet on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter also. Also, connect with us on LinkedIn at Ego Entertainment Network. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share our YouTube channel, Ego TV Network, at youtube.com/Ego TV Network.
All right. And you can follow me on all of our platforms as well. You can follow me on Facebook at Rhonda L. Thompson. And we also have a show page, Me Powered at Facebook, and LinkedIn is Rhonda L. Thompson. And we are working on the website, which is mepowered.co. And make sure that you guys subscribe to that and follow that. And we are now on iHeartRadio and all of the podcasting platforms that Lady J said previously. So let's get back to the show. I'm excited to introduce my friend, Virginia Rose, and bring her on. And this woman right here is very special to me, and she's got a wealth of stuff, and I want to make sure we get it all in. So go ahead, and I want to welcome you to the show, Virginia Rose. How are you?
Hi, thank you so much for having me as a guest. I'm so excited. Ever since we met during the pandemic, it's been such a wonderful friendship. So supportive, and I'm so grateful to be here today.
Thank you. You look beautiful as always. And
Thank you.
And we'll just tell everybody how we kind of got introduced. We have a mutual friend, Lauren Michaels Harris, and on the network that you've got a show on as well, and I had a show on previously. But we've been clicking ever since, and have a lot in common. We have a lot of parallel things. So I'm so excited to finally get you on the show. You are a hard woman to track down, but you're here now. So welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you so much.
You are so welcome. Now, I want to start with, you are physically where right now? Because you're located all kinds of places. Where are you physically at right now?
Well, right at this moment, I'm right outside of Washington, D.C. This has been an area that I've called home for some time, but you're absolutely right. I was living for the last 3 months in Italy, and I'm going to be traveling out west very soon on business, and then hopefully back to Europe. And we'll talk about the reason why I'm doing all that traveling here shortly, I'm sure. But I'm not trying to be difficult to track down. You actually just had me when I got back. You messaged me at 4 a.m, and my clock was like, 5 a.m. My clock was still kind of like I was still on Europe time, so it was like the perfect time to talk to me. So I'm really excited to be on the show.
Well, that's awesome. That is awesome. Now, you do so many things, Virginia. I mean, my God, you are, I don't even know what is the first thing, but I'm just going to say all the things that I know about you. I mean, first and foremost, you are a mama. You've got beautiful children, and you are a businesswoman. You're venturing off. You have an international business, which we'll talk about. You're a model. You're an artist. You are a social media phenom with all of the social media following and stuff. And you're just this incredible positive energy. Your quotes always just make me smile. They really do. And it's always something I need to here right at the right time. And it's wonderful. So I'm very, very happy that you're here. So what do you want to start? Where do you want to start at as far as what you primarily focus on? What would you say your primary focus is? What do you want people to know you as?
Well, right now, number one is being just a light in the world. That is a primary focus. And I think however I can bring that to people, whether it be through writing, through social media, God kind of lays on my heart in the morning. He literally gives me the words, Rhonda. So thank you so much for giving me the credit. But when I do my morning meditations and my prayers and my affirmations, he literally gives me the words to write. And I'm so glad that it inspires people and it helps them to continue, because it's a struggle for me too every day with the world and war and pandemic. It's a lot going on. My primary focus right now is my baby, my international wine company that I've been working on for the last 5 years. It's called Virginia Hodges and Art Corporation, and it is a labor of love. We still have a few steps left, but we're so close, Rhonda.
I can't wait until you're there. And we talked about it before. It's like, I will so go to Italy and help you taste all those wines and, you know, make sure that you pick just the right one. But I'm so proud of you, because I watch you and I've watched you grow just in these last 2 years, like you said, in the pandemic. And a lot of people think, you know, the pandemic, and it has brought a lot of bad things, but there's a lot of wonderful things that have come out of it as well, like your business. Yeah. And, you know, your ability to recreate yourself. And, you know, we have to adapt. We have to change with the times, you know. Now, and you're recently doing some modeling, and you said you always wanted to be a Victoria's Secret model. And I noticed a lot of the photos that you do are very Victorian Secret-ish. And it just has that air about them, and they're always tasteful. They're always beautiful. And what I love about you is, even like in your poses and your smile and what you say, you just exude femininity and, you know, the strength and the power of a woman. So that's why I was like, yeah, I got to have you on for Women's History Month, because, you know, a lot of people forget about the power we have as women just in being our feminine selves, you know? And so that's what I kind of want to like bring up today, is for all the ladies that are trying to do something or come up with something, and how to come out of their shell, because you've dealt with some things too. Let's start there. What would you say to ladies that have a dream inside? Because you had the Victoria's Secret model dream, and it may not have come to pass when you were younger, but you're making it come to pass now. So how did you go about doing that?
Okay, so there was a little bit of a sound issue there for a minute, but I think if you want to repeat the question just for one moment. So like
no
did I get started?
No problem. No, I was saying a lot of ladies have, you know, dreams and passions that they want to do, just like you did with Victoria's Secret modeling. And even though the opportunity may not have presented itself with that particular agency, you created your own platform and you didn't let it stop you. Excuse me. So I would like for you to just share how you did that, and, you know, for what other ladies can do to tap into that thing that they still want to do, you know, that they may have put back on the shelf.
This is great. I love this. So I started as a model when I was 14 years old. I was trying to make money. I was a figure skater at the time, and I got spotted in like a mall, and I did like, I modeled for like Sears and like bridal companies and makeup companies, just little runway shows and little small things. But I have 3 children who are 19, almost 18, and almost 15 now. And I kind of like put it away because I always wanted to be a Victoria's Secret model, but I'm only 5'5", 5'6". Right. And at the time they wanted more slender style models. Now that is changing. If you see the windows,
thank God, yes,
they're using models that are more like, you know, average to more fuller figure body types. But I'm also almost 40 years old, and I kind of was like, I'm modeling is like, I still love taking pictures, but it was kind of like in the past. And I had somebody very near and dear to me who I did a photo shoot with, who got published, who encouraged me to keep it going. Like, you still have that spice, you still have that flair,
Oh, yeah.
and go ahead and do the photo shoot. So I did it, and I sat on the pictures for like a week before I submitted them for publication. And he kept encouraging me, and he was like, come on, you got to do it. Like, you still got it, girl. And I submitted them, and 10 magazines wanted them. 10
Really?
magazines. So
Wow.
I was like,
you gotta
okay.
tell me how to do that, because I have this thing I've always wanted to like be an official model as well. Like, you know, our stories are almost the same, and that's the part I got to figure out. And yeah,
I can help you. I can totally help you. But I think my main message with that question would be never doubt yourself. So when I did that photo shoot that you saw, which is on my Instagram, if anybody wants to see it, it's at VR Fine Art, if you want to follow me. But when I did that photo shoot in Italy, I had been eating whatever I wanted for 3 months. I did not go to the gym. I had just tasted and tested over 300 bottles of wine. And girl, normally before I do a photo shoot, yes, that was amazing. But normally before I do a photo shoot, and it's professional, I prep my body, I work out, I cut carbs. I did not do a single thing. And people love the photo shoot. So I just want to say to you ladies, love the you that is right now. Love the skin that you're in. Appreciate your body for what it does for you. I have stretch marks. I am not perfect. I have scars on my body. I was a skater. I was a dancer, like doing ballroom dance, and I was a belly dancer. I have, you know, little marks or little freckles, you know, on things. But you know what? I am so proud of that photo shoot because it took courage for me to do it. And you might shock yourself, ladies, if you just step outside your comfort zone and do a fun boudoir shoot or whatever type of photo shoot you want to do.
Yeah, and they're always and you can do it tastefully. They don't have to be raunchy or anything like that. And
Always
the way
tasteful.
that you did yours, the way that you did yours, it's just like I said, they exude the essence of femininity, and it's just, they're just beautiful. They really are. And it's so encouraging because, you know, I mean, just like you, I've got stretch marks, I've got 5 kids, I'm older than you, I'm 55, but we're still sexy, we still got it, we haven't lost anything. And a lot of times, you know, as women, we can think, you know, we don't measure up, or we can think that, you know, our time has passed. And, you know, I'm so grateful now that, you know, plus size is in, thick is in, and there, you don't have to be that skinny, you know, shape anymore. And you can be proud of who you are and be the real woman that you are intended to be. And it's just beautiful. So I applaud you for having the courage, because you're going to give so many women courage to do the same thing. So,
and that means so much to me. That means so much to me, because let me tell you, my hands were sweating when I posted those pictures, even though I did not show any, you know, I did like a back shot or like a side shot, but none of my, you know, private areas were showing. Even my mom was a little like, ba, 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 boom, but she was still really proud. And I told my mom, I said, I will never show those areas. No disrespect to anyone that does, but for me, it's just for my children reasons and you know, just religious reasons and stuff. But I wanted to show something that showed body positivity and encouragement, to say, look, I'm almost 40. I ate bread. I drank wine. I have 3 kids, and I still love my body, and I want you to love your body too. It wasn't a vanity post, for sure.
Yeah. What a great message to give women, and how perfectly fitting for, you know, for this whole month and for today. That's why I'm so glad that you're here. All right. So you are also an artist. Well, you're a photographer, you're an artist. Explain the type of artist that you are, because you got a broad range.
So I say this, as humbly as possible, because a lot of times when I start listing off all the things, people, you know, it's not to toot my own horn. It's just what I do. So I am first and foremost, I am an international fashion photographer. I've been shooting fashion since 16 when I started at Walt Disney World. And my favorite thing to shoot in the whole entire world is models and people, and just make them feel wonderful and beautiful. And I love fashion. I am a painter. I am a generational painter. I have many Italian painters in my family. My great-grandmother was also a painter. And so I absolutely love to paint. It's a newfound passion for the last 4 years. I'm an international best-selling author. I was invited to participate in a women's empowerment book called Women Who Illuminate, which is an international bestseller. And I'm so excited about that, because my story gets to touch people's lives. I did not have an easy life. I did not have an easy journey. And I want to use my story to show people that no matter what you've been through, you can do whatever you want in this life. So an artist of many forms, that's all I can think of at the top of my head, other than doing dancing and things like that. But and I make wine in Italy.
And you make wine. Yes, absolutely. I just wanted to get a little bit of a feel so people can just get an idea of just a taste of the different things that you do. And it by no means is it all of it, but I know this hour is going to fly by because I know we're already going to have to take our commercial break in a second here. But for today, for Women's Month, for featuring you, oh, Jimmy is on. He said, your story is amazing. Hey, Jimmy, thank you for tuning in. Yeah, I love Jimmy. But I wanted to just have you tell everybody what you do and what you are participating in, because you're not limited in any way, shape, or form. And you still have 3 kids, and you still do this, and you still run all this, and so it is possible. And, Lady J, who's doing this show, who's engineering the show, she even has a show, The Impossible Show, and it's I'm Possible. And you're just the very essence of what's possible as a woman, and that nothing can stop us. And so I'm glad that you're here, because so many other women are going to get the courage, hearing somebody who's in their 40s, doing the same things and they didn't give up either. So I'm very, very excited for what's going to happen as a result of you being on here tonight.
Oh, I love it.
But I know we got to take our first commercial break. So what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to take a real fast break. And then when we come back, we're going to dig into, some specific things. And before you know it, the hour is going to be up, because it's always good when you have somebody.
Have you subscribed yet to the free bi-monthly digital interactive Ego magazine? No? Well, head on over to www.egoentertainmentnet.com to subscribe now. This magazine is all about supporting and showcasing excellence in communities everywhere, from music, arts and culture, relationships, education, politics, celebrities, food, and so much more. While you're flipping through the pages, just click on the buttons and social icons, and you'll be taken to a whole other world behind the articles and ads. At Ego Entertainment, everyone is a star. There is something in it for everyone, and we hope you are positively impacted by what you see and will continue to support Ego Magazine. Track CBPD by Arulo. Hey, it's your girl, Lady J, and this is a special public service announcement. The Gallery Event Center of Indianapolis, Indiana is now an official partner. If you are a client of mine and you are in need of a venue to book your next event, then book with the Gallery Event Center today, who offers all-inclusive packages at extremely affordable prices. But wait, there's more. You are able to book custom all-inclusive packages that have been tailored exclusively for Lady J's clients. And yes, that includes the Ego Entertainment Network clients too. Connect with me today at ladyj.co to receive your promo code, and visit the Gallery Event Center located at 5852 East 82nd Street, or call 317-534-6399 and visit their website at thegalleryeventcenter.com. This has been a special public service announcement by Lady J. Love y'all. Deuces. Are you in need of a fresh perspective on relationships, wholeness, love, and transformation? Or are feeling consumed with hurts from the past and finding it difficult to overcome traumatic events? Well, contact licensed marriage and family therapist Sharon Mason of Love That Relationship. She can get you back on the road to building a healthy and loving relationship with yourself and others. Love That Relationship.
Okay, we are back now, and I also need to plug my sponsor, Rob Delitis. He is the originator of ERP therapy for substance abuse and addiction. He's known as the ERP man, and you can reach him at erptherapy.com for all your needs as far as dealing with any type of substance abuse, addiction related issues. He is your guy, and he also does training for corporate events and trains your entire staff. So make sure you get in touch with Rob Delitis, erptherapy.com. All right, welcome back, Virginia. All right, so now that we got all the particulars out of the way, now we got all the bio stuff out of the way. So let's just talk. Okay. So with it being Women's History Month, when you started venturing out to do your businesses and follow after your dreams, what were some of the things that were obstacles for you that you had to overcome?
Wow, this is a great question, especially for Women's Empowerment Month. So there's still, even in 2022, the difficulties for women in business are substantial, especially overseas. There was many tables that I sat at that had 11 men, and I was the only woman. And sometimes it's really difficult. Yeah, it's still really difficult. And sometimes whenever you have a male companion or a male business partner or someone with you, they assume that maybe like they're the business owner, and then you're just like, you couldn't possibly be the owner. You couldn't possibly be, and sometimes there's still some disrespect and there's still some issues. And so, I still feel as a woman, not every table that there's a man. There's a lot of respectful, amazing, wonderful men out there. My CEO, my vice president, there's a lot of wonderful men out there that support women, but there's still a lot of men that assume that we can't do as good of a job. And so I really have to fight for my place, and especially in the wine world, also in the photography world. It's like, well, women are maybe supposed to be the models or the makeup artists. I've been asked on set when it was my shoot, and they didn't know, like, are you the wardrobe assistant or something? And it's nothing against the wardrobe assistant, but it's my shoot, and I'm here, so, and then they're like, oh, wait, you're the photographer. And so I think a lot of the obstacles are just being looked down upon, and sometimes having to prove, like, I have to go over and above, I feel sometimes, to prove myself, to prove that I am smart enough to run with the boys, that my skills as a businesswoman and as an owner and a founder of a corporation are just as good as a man's. And even still to this day, there's some international difficulties where they didn't grow up with the woman in the room. They were either cooking or watching babies or cleaning.
Right. Well, beyond the gender biases, there's a cultural bias as well that you have to deal with. And then when you're dealing internationally, you've got even more societal cultural biases that you have to deal with. That is just outside of the norm. And one thing that I know, last week when we did the show, there was a person who had commented something about, how equal do you want to be as far as war and all that. And it's not about trying to do things better than a man or what, but I love the way you just said it, is that you have the ability to be the businesswoman, and you should be respected as such and not just thought of as the second person in charge. The fact that it wouldn't even come across some people's minds that you were the business owner, that lets us know that we still got a lot to do. And I remember with my company, with a corporate company that I was with, I actually went to a conference called Know Your Value. And they discussed about, and it was the very first one that I went to, and they discussed about how women, like even in workplace or corporate worlds or whatever, we're so apologetic. Like we'll come and we'll apologize so many times, like even with bosses and stuff like that, where men don't apologize. They go right in, like, I want the corner office, I want this, and they get it. But with a woman, a lot of times they'll apologize, and because we're brought up to accommodate, we're brought up to appease, we're brought up to please, we're brought up to be that peacemaker, and it can be quite intimidating actually being on the other side and being the leader and being taken seriously. So when you saw that treatment from you, was there ever a point that you had to like dig in deeper and
Yes.
reassure yourself. And how did you do that? What did you do to overcome what was going on at that time that, when
So
you were
it's a great story. So there was a point when the pressure was so much and I felt a huge lack of respect in certain issues, like certain times, certain scenarios. And it came from somebody that I would have never thought would have been that way. So I became one of the boys just for a moment over a glass of whiskey, which anybody that knows me knows that I do not drink liquor.
Okay.
He was having a glass of whiskey, and we had what my mom likes to call a come to Jesus meeting. I had cried to my best friend.
Right.
Home, and I called to my best friend who was a former Marine, and I was like, okay, I am ready to tap out. I don't know if I can handle this. And she told me to put my red lipstick on, to not dumb myself down, and to walk in there the next day like I owned the place, because I deserve to be heard. I deserve to be respected, and do not look down at the floor, basically, unless you're looking at your shoes to admire them. And so first, over a glass of whiskey, I said, either cancel my meetings or show me the respect that I deserve. And I did go to the meeting. I did follow through. I stayed for 3 months, and never again did I look down at the floor or feel bad about myself, or let someone talk over me, or tell me not to speak, or how to hold a glass, or anything. I'm like, look, I'm here to do business, and you're going to pay attention to me. And I stuck with it. And it was very, very difficult. But you know what? I will never be that same woman again. I will always be that strong woman. And let me tell you, red lipstick, there is something when you put red lipstick on, it changes your personality, and it feels so great.
I gotta find the right red, because I'm I got that olive skin, and stuff. I'm looking for the right red. But I love that, because a lot of times we will not, and I'm just being transparent. There's times where I'll have an issue sometimes with confrontation myself and asserting myself, because I'm so used to being a counselor, listening to people and mending things. And when it comes time to speak my mind, sometimes I struggle too. And I have to be like, okay, wait a minute, Rhonda, what would you tell a client? Dig your heels in, exactly the same thing. But it's funny how there's still that nervousness that comes up sometimes, and that we're socialized to have. And that's hard sometimes to break. Because you're brought up, that a lady doesn't do this, a girl doesn't do this, and and being one of the boys is good, but then it's not good. It's like you're not ladylike, you're not feminine, and and it's like conflict sometimes. So I'm so glad that you are an example of taking that whiskey, putting that red lipstick on, and demanding your respect without being bitchy about it, without being arrogant, without
and I had to stick up for myself,
you asserted yourself positively, eloquently, and you got the respect that you deserved. You didn't have to go through all the reality show type dramatics to do it. And
I never raised my voice. I never raised my voice, and I actually didn't speak at all in one of the meetings. I just sat silently until everyone was quiet, and there was about 15 minutes that passed. If they're going to tell me not to speak, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to evaluate the room, and when everyone's quiet and I have their attention, then I'll speak, because I'm here to do business. And it's not to disrespect any one person. It's just I'm working in a market that is predominantly men, and I'm trying to make a way for women, not only for myself, but for my daughters, for your daughter, for people that are women that are going to come after us. And I think it's so important to keep pushing forward and show that we deserve a space in that world, especially if we've done the work and done the research, and we're here and we're showing up and we want to do business with you. But like I said, it wasn't all the men. It was not all the men. There was many, many kind men. It's just there are a small fraction of people that are like, what are you doing here? Like, where are your kids? And I'm like, my kids are fine. They're almost adults, or they are adults.
Right. And that's such a powerful statement that you just made. And it's the very essence of learning how to exude your power without I love that, without having to raise your voice. You don't have to do that. Sometimes the loudest thing is a whisper. or silence. And that's the thing that gets people's attention. You don't have to go all out and be all over dramatic and chaotic and theatrical, and you just don't. And a lot of times you'll notice, men don't do that either. Their yes is yes, their no is no, and that's it. They're not going to go back and forth. They're not going to go. They're like, no, and next. So I love that, because it's just more of an example that you are trailblazing a way for so many women and for yourself, and it's just an honor to have you here, especially this month, to let women know how to do that. Now, with speaking about that, give me 3 things, or however many things, like if a woman is catching herself in that situation where she's feeling like she's disrespected or she's not heard, was there a certain thing that you did? Like, are there certain tips that you do now? Like you do a couple of different steps, like where could a woman who has never done that before start? What would you advise them to start with?
Well, first off, the moment that I feel any type of pushback or disrespect, or I feel like there's going to be a conflict because perhaps there's ego involved, or something, a frequency that's a low frequency that's just not respectful, I get real quiet. And anybody that knows me knows that I have a very big, spicy, full personality. Mm-hmm. I'm Italian. I'm a Taurus. Like I'm just a spicy girl. But when I get in that situation, I make people meet me at my frequency. I don't slam doors. I don't raise my voice. I don't get disrespectful. I get very quiet, because I have a saying, and I heard this from a pastor many years ago. Calm is strength and anger is weakness. So if they're angry or they're jealous or they're tearing you down, being quiet does not mean that you are cowering to them. Being quiet means I'm not meeting you at your frequency, and eachable to get up and leave the room. Or silence is an answer. Silence actually is an answer, whether it be through a text, a meeting, get up, walk out. And let me tell you, that grabs people, because when you get into a match where you're speaking back and forth, and it's like, okay, level up, right? Whoever's the loudest wins, whoever says the most wins. When you say nothing, they look like a jackass, because they're talking to themselves at that point.
Oh, yeah. And after a while, they got to stop. Yeah, they have to stop after a while, because they're realizing that nothing is coming back to them. And, the one that is out of control, and it even says, a fool is known by the multitude of their words. And so it's like, and, even old school teachings, you got 2 ears and 1 mouth, so you can hear more and talk less. Just those little things that we take for granted when we grow up, but it really is powerful, because a lot of times people, number one, they're not present in the conversation because they're listening to respond, they're listening to rebut, they're listening to whatever. But to just be so present in the situation and not say anything, like you said, that is an answer all in itself. And that's a very profound answer, and one that demands notice. And that I love that. That's like a quiet strength that a lot of times we don't realize as women that we have, that we can operate in at any time, and we don't have to lose our control. We don't have to resort to acting out of our character, because we always feel bad afterwards, and like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have said that, I shouldn't have done this, and then you can't take it back a lot of times, and people are gonna be like, oh yeah, see, I knew you were exactly like that. This is why I don't want to do business with women. And so we're not doing anything to benefit our gender either. We're playing into the stereotypes. We're playing into the everything that they feel about us as why we're unable to have a seat at the table, why we're unable to have that conversation among the executives. And a lot of them are men. And there's a lot of forward thinking companies that are putting a lot of women in executive positions now, but it's still very imbalanced. It really is. You got to fight for your spot. You really do. And I like that.
If I can make a comment too, about like reactive abuse. So a lot of situations in corporate and a lot of the business world, there are a lot of people that are are narcissistic. And when they are narcissistic, them abusing you can cause you eventually everybody has a fuse, right? So then when you blow up, it's reactive because somebody's pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. And then it's like, oh, you're the crazy one. So when you don't react at all, or you only react personally, maybe you talk to your best friend about it or something, and you control the situation, it controls them and it backs them off, because what do they want? They want supply. It's for their ego.
Yeah, their narcissistic supply. Yep.
Right.
Absolutely.
So when you pull that back and you don't give them that supply that they're looking for to harass you or get you to step down or get you to leave the company or whatever, you are taking your power back as a woman, and you're setting an example that this is not the way that you're going to speak to me, and this is not going to happen again. And if it does, you're going to be talking to a brick wall. It's the silence, because I'm not going to react to this. And then I'm going to go a step further. I'm going to remove my access. You will not access me at this point. You will not text me. You will not call me. I will not be in your meetings, not virtual or in person. You will no longer speak to me if you do not show me the respect. It doesn't matter my gender. I am equal in the room with you. It doesn't matter CEO or janitor. We're all equal. We're all people. We're all human beings, and we deserve to be respected. So women that are listening right now, please know that no matter your position, even if you're, and I don't want to say even if you're a stay-at-home mom, I was a stay-at-home mom at one time. That was like the most important job ever. But even if you're a stay-at-home mom right now and you're just trying to like get your dreams going, you're following your dreams, don't let anyone ever make you feel small or lesser than or not complete or not whole. You are amazingly wonderful exactly how you are, and you deserve respect no matter what the situation. So thanks for letting me get that out.
Oh, that's no problem. And there's so many people that need to hear that, and you're absolutely right. Especially when you're dealing with a narcissist. I have dated narcissists before, and you don't realize it when you're in it. But looking back, hindsight is 20/20. And that's when I really saw that I was dealing with a narcissist, and I learned what that was. You're exactly right, because they get off on feeding when they see you hurt and when they see you upset. So the not reacting, the worst thing you can do for a narcissist is not give him the attention that he wants, or her, the attention that they want, because that's what feeds them. And then that's a major power and control tactic that they use to manipulate and to make you feel bad. And the whole thing is twisted. But that's what gives them pleasures, to see you in pain. It makes them feel like they have a one up on you. But the truth is, behind most narcissists are the most insecure people. And they have to exert their power over others, just like your school bully, and 9 times out of 10, their actions are coming from their own abuse or their own hurt or their own trauma. And because they can't control that situation, they try to take it out on everybody else. And, it's a sad thing, and it's hard, but they really do play a mind game on you, because when you start to think that, what did I do to make them mad? You're deep in, because now the narcissist or the person has effectively won, because now they're gaslighting you. They're making you feel like you're crazy. They're making you feel like it's your fault, or if you didn't do this, I wouldn't do that. And then we can sometimes take that on, and because we're trying to fix it, and we'll be like, well, what can I do differently? And we take that in when it's never ours to take. And it cuts us off from so many things. And the narcissist or the person that's doing those things to you, they're not even thinking about it. You're the one that now is imprisoned, and your mind is constantly going, and it's like a mental prison that you get into that you can't get out of. So I'm so glad that you're speaking on that, because especially now, because as women, a lot of times we hold things in, we incubate, don't we? We hold them in.
Yeah.
And we carry things, and we don't know how to express, or we try to fix. And a lot of us don't take the initiative to speak up because we haven't been taught to do so.
Right. No, we have not been taught. And sometimes even in churches, there's a church that I went to when I was a kid, that women are to be silent. And so that was very triggering when I was in Italy, when someone said to me, "Oh, I'll handle the meeting. Don't speak." And I flew 5,000 miles. It's my company. I'm there. I'm the businesswoman. I have everything to say. I have a 27-page presentation, and I've done all my research. And so for someone to say, don't speak, was like, wow, okay, we're in 2022. This is still going on. But you know what? Like I shared, there was a time that I didn't speak because it wasn't necessary for me to speak. But let me tell you, when I wanted to speak, I did. I just didn't raise my voice. I didn't cuss anybody out or anything like that. I commanded attention, and I spoke, and I spoke my mind and what was important for the presentation. And then I thanked everyone, and I left, and I walked out graciously. And you know what? It's up to them to decide how they're going to respond, and if they want to do business. And if they don't, then you know what? God removes people, and that's how it is.
Yeah, I mean, because we only have, what's inside of our control and what's outside of our control. And anything having to do with anybody else, their reactions, their thoughts, their responses is outside of our control. All we can control is us, how we carry ourselves, how we talk, how we think, how we treat people, and, what we do. And once you've done all of that, that's all you can do. And then the rest doesn't even involve you at that point. It really does. Sometimes we think, well, if I would have just said something a little bit different, it wouldn't have changed anything, because that atmosphere is already there and they have the ultimate decision of how they're going to respond. And I like the fact that you just used the word trigger, because a lot of times I will speak to clients all the time, just identifying their triggers. And the thing is people don't realize we tell people what our triggers are by the way we respond and we react. So we give them, in essence, the blueprint to our triggers, but then we get upset and say, well, they're pushing my buttons. Well, you just showed them where your buttons are. So once you remove that trigger and you get to the source of why is that a trigger for you, then guess what? They can't trigger you anymore. Now you are back in control, because when somebody can trigger you, you're out of control and you're at their mercy, and they, in essence, are in control of you, because nobody should be able to change your day, your mood, your anything. Nobody has that power. You decide. I like somebody said one time, you don't adapt to the energy in the room. You go in and you change the energy to adapt to you. And like you said, frequency and stuff. So I just love, tap into that power and just, know who you are and what you stand for. That's all that we can do.
Amen to that, sister. I love it. Like mine.
Yep. I know we got to take our second commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to let everybody know how to follow you on social media, find out what you got coming up. And and then we're going to be wrapped up already. Can you believe it? We will be right back.
Are you or someone you know accomplishing some amazing things in the community, or is just an inspiration to many? Apply to be featured on the cover of Ego Magazine, a bi-monthly digital interactive publication under the Ego Entertainment Network brand. Apply to be featured in other sections such as education, business, media and entertainment, community leader, author of the month, or artist of the month. Visit www.egoentertainmentnet.com to apply today. Track Island Beat by Arulo.
Hey there. If you can hear my voice, this is Pamela, host of Hospitality, here to remind you that Ego Entertainment Network has a lot for your business. Listen, honey, you need to get with it. Ego Entertainment offers various services, media coverage, red carpet services, promo interviews on air. They offer meet and greet services, honey, not to mention other event services. You want to get in gear. Eagle Entertainment is empowered greatness optimized. We're now booking and spots are going fast. Eagle serves the United States and all event types, honey. So if you are opening a business, having a store opening, a restaurant opening, and you want some coverage, Eagle Entertainment is the way to go. Call or text 317-886-0296 or go to eagleentertainmentnet.com.
If you're tired of hearing the same music and content every 5, 10, or 15 minutes on air, then check out JQLM Radio for the realest, rawest, and most relevant variety of music, talk shows, and more. Start your days with a little bit of gospel and gospel rap from 4 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
All of my life, I've never known you to fail. You deliver me. 'Cause all I seem to do is coming and breaking it down with that wicked style, man. We really living it out, don't miss it.
Then get into some hot R&B.
Say baby, what you doing? Excited.
Some hip hop.
Falling in deep with the quicksand. Flag on my hand, oh quick run. I was packing on the pound, got my
time and I heard that
A little bit of pop.
watermelon sugar, strawberries.
And some neo soul for the rest of the day. JQLM Radio, real, raw, and relevant.
Holds my hand.
All right, and we're back. This hour is flying. It always does when it's a good conversation. So, Virginia Rose, tell everybody how they can follow you on social media, and then we'll talk about what you got coming up.
Okay, so you can follow me on social media under Virginia Hodges. It's parentheses Virginia Rose, virginiarosefineart.com. I also have a show called La Dolce Vita with Virginia Rose. I started in the pandemic. It's an artist supporting artist show. It was my way to give back to artists and industry professionals. And you can follow that on joinvirginiarose.com. Please subscribe. And there are about 80 shows on Spotify that you can listen to if you just want to pump up your day and listen to some inspiring stories. La Dolce Vita, you and I are both Italian, so we know that means the sweet life. So it's all about the sweet life, which is music and artists and movies and directors and best-selling authors. So yeah, so come join me or follow me on Instagram at VRFineArt. I would love to have you. I always love making new friends in the world. So
Awesome.
there you go.
Awesome. Now, what do you have coming up? What's on the horizon for Virginia Rose? And when is that wine available, girl?
Oh, yes. Okay. So coming up, I have some travel. I can't say too much. I can't say.
Okay. Well, what you can say.
Yes. So I'm going to meet with some people that are very interested in supporting the company. Something really important that I need to get out, if it's okay, real quick. The reason that I'm building this wine company is because I want to make a lot of money so that I can make a lot of difference in the world. The primary goal is to build the company out so large internationally that I'm able to give millions, if not billions of dollars to women who have been victims of domestic violence or human trafficking, and also to help their children as well. And a no questions asked type of system. If they need school clothes, healthcare, I've been volunteering and going to different gala events and supporting different charities for years. And it really hit me that I want to do it too. And so the wine is the passion, and it's a good way to make, to hopefully make a lot of money so that I can do a lot of good in the world, not just in the United States, but internationally. So the primary goal over the next month is to get every single thing in place, go to all my meetings, and to make sure that I can get this company fully going by second to third quarter, so that over the next 5 years, I can raise a lot of money, if not 10, 15, 20 years, legacy company, to give money back to women who have been victims of domestic violence. I lost 2 friends. They lost their lives to domestic violence, and it really impacted me. And I don't want to see another woman lose their life because they couldn't get out because of financial reasons.
Right. And, I mean, just being transparent myself, I have a background. My past includes domestic violence in relationships, and it's very, very hard to get out of it. And it's just like this vacuum that you get sucked into, and people just don't understand, and that's like a whole nother show. But I'm so proud of you for doing that. And what a grand meaning behind what you want to do and why you want to do it. So kudos to you. And I definitely will be supporting you, my sister, and cannot wait for it to come out. And, hey, maybe we can talk about, partnering somewhere along the line on some things there. We could help each other out on a couple of things. But I'm so happy that you're doing that, because that is truly needed. And people don't realize just how hard it is, especially when you got kids. It's
literally like leaving the mafia or something. And a lot of women, they don't make it out. And sometimes the reason that they don't make it out is because they were scared that he would take the tax return, or, something so small, and they lose their life. They lose their life because the government couldn't help them quick enough, or they didn't have options, or the shelters were full. They didn't have a bed for them, so they didn't leave that night because they didn't have anywhere to go. And now they're not with us anymore, and the children are not with us anymore. Right. So my primary goal, so anybody that's listening to this, and you want to help, or you want to be a part of what I'm doing, please contact me, virginiarosefinar@yahoo.com, please, because this is a worldwide mission, what I'm doing, and I am going to do this for the rest of my life. I want to help women all over the world.
Awesome. Well, we're about to wind down here, and before we go, any last minute words that you have? I'll give you like 2 minutes, and then I got to wrap up and everything and do our ending stuff like that. But speak to the women out there, or maybe to that woman that's stuck in a relationship right now. What do you want to say to her?
I just want to say that your worth is so high. You are a valuable person. You are beautiful. You are amazing. You deserve to follow your dreams. I know it's really difficult right now, but there is a way out. It's okay to ask for help. Don't be ashamed of anything that you've gone through. It's not your fault. A lot of people like to play the it takes 2 to tango game. When you are in an abusive relationship, that is not 2 to tango. And you deserve so much more than that. You have dreams and goals. And I know as you're listening to this show right now, there might be tears pouring down your face, and you feel really, really alone. You look at your children and you say, I didn't want a broken home for them. But let me tell you something right now. Your kids need to see you healthy. They need to see you well, and they need to see you here. And if you're not here, or you're in a hospital, you cannot be there for them. Right. You have to be right with yourself and be mentally well and physically well in order to be their mother, not only today, but for the future. So please don't hesitate to ask for help. And if somebody looks down upon you for asking for help, you go to the next person and the next person and the next person. You deserve to be free. You deserve to be respected. You deserve for kind things to be said to you on a daily basis. And let me tell you, there is someone out there that will love you for exactly who you are, whether you have baby scars from having a baby, or you make mistakes, or you're not perfect, or you break a dish. You never deserve to be abused or harmed or injured. So just know right now today that you're beautiful and God loves you, and that you deserve freedom. So if you're thinking or even hesitating right now of leaving that person that has hit you or hurt you or abused you or stolen from you, I want you to rethink it, because you absolutely deserve everything and more. Just pray and cry out to God. Reach out to your local church, friend, or family member. And please, please, please do not wait Do not wait until something really bad happens to you and you're not with us anymore. And I will be praying for you and all the women of the world right now that deserve to be free. It can happen.
That's awesome. And for those women that are going through something, and I know we got to wrap up, you can reach out to me directly because I am a counselor. I do deal with family violence intervention. That's one of the things I specialize in. I can help place women anywhere. So even just reach out to me directly and and we can work together on that. Virginia, thank you so much. This has been such a fantastic show and a much needed show. And I'm just so thrilled that you were able to make it this evening. So I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. And everybody, I want to let you know that next week we've got another amazing woman, Allison. She is going to be on, and she is a therapist, and she does ART therapy, which helps unlock trauma. Like that.
Oh,
so
wow.
Give you tools. Yes. And so I've got this month is jam packed with women that are making a difference and trailblazing for all women out there and telling their stories and helping each other. And just real quick, I've got some things coming up myself. Got a workbook that's going to be released very, very soon. I've got my very first event that I'm going to be hosting, which is going to be May 7th, the day before Mother's Day, Saturday here in Atlanta. And boy, I tell you, it's a gala event that we are putting on. We're going to have flyers and information coming out soon, but it's just to give you a little glimpse. Time to pull out your hats, pull out your gloves, get all dressed up. And we're going to have a lot of fun. So more information to come on that. If you want to be a guest on this show, go ahead and email me at mepoweredwithrhonda@gmail.com. Or if you want to advertise to be a sponsor as well, this show is international, y'all. And as you see, I have international friends, but we've got an international base. But I wanted to just, take this time to thank everybody and make sure you share this show this evening. This is a crucial show. This show is going to save lives and it's going to empower other women. Thank you, Virginia Rose, for your heart, for your transparency, for just sharing a little bit of your light with us. You are the great light bearer, and my heart is with you. You are my sister always, and I'm just, I love you.
Thank you. Guys, and thank you to my mom for watching. I want to say hi to my mom. Thanks, Mom, who birthed me and prays for me and encourages me and just loves me so much. I could not be the light that I am without my mama and my dearest friend Neil and just so many wonderful people. Trust me, it takes a village. I am only this bright and shiny in my spirit because I have amazing supporters, a wonderful best friend, Allie. It takes a village of people that support you through your hard times. So thank you to everybody that supports me, both the people I know and the people that I don't. And thank you, Rhonda, my sister, for having me on your amazing show and for giving me so much encouragement over the last year. I send my love to you, and I hope I can come back to your show and you'll come on mine.
Absolutely. And with that, we are going to go ahead and be finished this evening, but I want you to know that everything you need is already inside of you. You are me powered, and this has been Me Powered with Rhonda. Have a good night.